Okay, Jared Leto. Let's see what these perks of yours can do. Starstruck. Your unmatched showmanship dazzles all. Starstruck activates. When you are carrying a survivor, survivors within your terror radius suffer from the exposed status effect for 20 seconds. Starstruck cooldown cools down for 90 seconds once a survivor is no longer carried. And 90 seconds, people, that is like 1.5 minutes. The more you know. G.I. Joe. Enjoy this moment. Few get so close. Ji Woon Hak. Ji Woon Hak. I don't know how to say it. So
It's okay, none of us do.
So what is the difference between this version and the tier 3 Falcon?
It's the duration of exposed status effect, which is increased to 30 seconds.
30 seconds. That's long.
Mm-hmm.
That's really long. Well, let us first talk about it. This is quite good against body blockers. But situational.
Outside of that, this perk is fucking garbage.
But
I still think that Medgrit is better.
Mm-hmm.
Because that is the problem is the survivor will get the notification of the exposed status effect. So you can't get any value against good survivors. Maybe against rank 20 survivors, maybe. But Medgrit is better because they will still try to body block you and you get free hit.
I think it is. I think this perk is actually only good on a mobile killer.
This perk is only good if you make some troll ass loadout when you take you take Iron Grasp and like the Legion's shitty perk and just a bunch of perks like that, and just run around the map carrying one survivor with the intent to just down people like that.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, how long would
It's too situational.
Yeah, I mean,
and also there is the problem that the duration is too short because you have to make a choice. Either hook the survivor you just chased, and you will waste 10 to 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Or slug the survivors you already you just chased to try to get the other survivor near you in 20 seconds.
Yeah.
So what's the point?
This perk is too situational. It's
too situational. That is the problem.
I mean, this should be a perk that this perk should actually be in the base kit of every killer.
Right.
I mean, this would be the ultimate trade perk, if you think about it. If someone comes and try to body block you and you down them, but seasoned survivors would expect this.
Yeah.
They would expect this. It is like it's just too situational, and it is like 90 seconds, and that's long, 1.5. I mean, in that time you could have had another hook, depending.
Yeah, but the problem, you maybe just let me find the right term.
Go ahead. Take your time. But still, it's a situational perk. But I'm waiting. I'm curious what the term Falcon is going to use.
Yeah, so basically you are forced to give up your rook because 20 seconds. is too short.
30 seconds on tier 3.
Yeah, it's too short. I need to give up hooking the survivor I just downed, and I must begin another chase and down another survivor in 20 seconds. Wow.
Yeah. And then they get a notification
Maybe,
that you...
maybe this perk, maybe it's only decent on the nurse.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, but the nurse has... every perk works on the nurse. That's how good she is.
Yeah, so basically, I think they should maybe increase the duration.
And you know what the other problem is with this perk?
Hmm.
That certain killers have a smaller terror radius than others, because if you use this on
Ah.
Maiko would not be
Yeah.
able to use this perk. Myers.
To be honest, this perk is good only on distressing doctor. To be honest,
Yeah.
because you hook the survivor, and then with the static blast you can find the other survivor. Maybe that is the only situation in which this perk may be decent.
Yeah, that and any other 32 meters terror radius killer.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
especially killers with mobility. I think Hillbilly would be able to use it, Nurse would be able to use it.
yeah. But it really has a one-shot ability, so
Yeah.
you know. Okay, the idea of this perk is good, but they should change the numbers, to be honest.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
Till then, go for Medgrit.
Yeah.
All time.
yeah, it's this
They
pack
should
is.
just
Yeah.
they just take that fucking 20-second shit off, because think about it, right? If there's no time limit, the survivor you're carrying can still wiggle out. So
Mm-hmm.
like, what is it going to hurt to not have a time limit?
Yeah.
What's the worst
My
the killer is
thing
going to do? Kill, like, he's going to take the troll thing that I said and then chase people around, but the person can still wiggle out. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
why does it need to be 20 seconds?
I
And then
mean-
as soon as you drop them, it's over.
To be honest, I would say that it should be in effect as long as you're carrying someone, and after you have hooked someone, then it should last for like 30 seconds.
Nah, that'd be a little bit too much, because then you got like you got like barbecue. Like I'm okay with it just ending when you're not carrying someone.
Yeah, but
it only lasting 20 seconds is kind of ridiculous.
yeah,
My thing is, if we're worried about blocking, I don't understand how a survivor's physical box has more priority than a killer's box.
Yep.
I don't understand. Here's the perfect example. It's endgame. The survivors have somebody that's 2 steps away from the exit gate. And they're all huddled around them and they're all healing this survivor. There's 4.
Mm-hmm.
And you're standing there and you have the survivor down and you're trying to pick them up and everybody's body blocking you just because they're healing them. Well,
Yeah.
why do their hurt and hit boxes have more priority than mine? I should be able to just have the option to pick them up, but instead you start hitting people and then the person crawls in. That situation never should have happened. You should be able to access the person that's on the ground. Or if there's somebody blocking a hook,
Mm-hmm.
we should have there should be a priority system in place of, if there is a hook, they should have a tiny area of the killer has priority, and maybe within that's the problem. I'm not sure of the meter system, but maybe a foot past the exit gate itself, the killer should have priority instead of the survivor being able to do whatever they want to do. Because that's something that in the game kind of doesn't make any sense. to me at least.
Yeah, especially when they got We're Gonna Live Forever, because Gonna Live Forever helps them to heal down survivors really fast. With
Yeah.
This game is built around the survivor experience. That's why it's been balanced the way it's been balanced for all of the years I've been playing it, and that's why it's not all that fun all the time.
And it went especially to the survivor side with Almo as balance lead, because Almo is because I remember that one stream that they showed it on Space Coconut's channel, where Almo said, according to our statistics, Hillbilly was overperforming. Well, everyone said that the Hillbilly was like super balanced, even the survivor said it. And he said, and Hillbilly was overperforming, so we had to nerf him. And even in the dev blog, they said they were happy with how Hillbilly was performing. Even Falcon remembered that. Remember Falcon about Hillbilly? That they were happy with him?
Yeah, I remember perfectly.
And then,
in fact, our thumbnail for the video, if you remember, was a meme with Matthew Cote saying, "We are happy with how Hillbilly is performing." So we announced that we are nerfing him.
Yeah, we are proud to announce that we are nerfing him. Yeah. And that was like, and everyone, even the survivors, were saying, "What is this shit? Why are you nerfing Hillbilly? He's balanced." Hillbilly was extremely fair. Nobody was complaining about Hillbilly, except the really bad rank 20 ones. But that's normal because you're a rank 20.
You're new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything is.
My thing is, I would just say, in front of the hooks, have whatever the diameter of the post for the hook is itself, extended forward 1 foot. Have that be, if a survivor is standing there or crouching there, that is an automatic survivor hurt box instead of a hit box. Or I don't know how to say it in this game.
Well,
you know what I'm trying to say.
I like, because if you ever go to the forums and you see the same topic come up all the time, and the survivor main is always like, blah blah blah, you don't get upset at something that's in the game. Yeah, but y'all were complaining about face camping, which was in actuality a detriment to killers, and you'd complain about it so much that now it penalizes you for it. So they should penalize you for body blocking with hooks.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. But see, here's the thing, though. The problem is that if a killer is face camping, it doesn't necessarily penalize the person on the hook unless they're trying to unhook themselves. We're getting hurt even more because there's 3 more people finishing those generators, and we're getting popped by the points. Right? We're getting points taken away.
Yeah, because you have to think about it. For every second that you are by the hook face camping, for example, you have to multiply it by 3. You have to so if you have 5 seconds by the survivor on the hook, that is basically 15 seconds that you're losing.
But it's like, not only are you trying to walk to the hook, carrying the survivor, hoping that they're not going to break the hook, but you're there, and then there's somebody that doesn't even have a toolkit, and they're just squatting in front of it. You lose the survivor, and what's the penalty to them? Nothing. It's a big loss to us.
Yeah. Yeah, and then
it's all downhill.
or they run around the hook so that you lose more points. Also.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: it is easier to say that the killer is camping as such, you know.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: if you hear a survivor walking behind you, because you will hear the footsteps, or you know that the survivor is close by, why should I leave the hook?
Right.
If I see this crouching Claudette in the corner of my eye, why should I leave the hook? When I see that Claudette crouching there, it was the same with that Legion that Falcon and I were playing against. two survivors were just hanging around Falcon, and Falcon was hanging on the hook. And the Legion was just camping.
Yeah.
Remember Falcon?
Yeah, I remember.
And I was on the other side of the map. I had to come from the other side of the map just to save Falcon. Because
Yeah.
those stupid survivors were not doing anything.
Well, you know, that just harks back to what I said before about not feeling scary or threatening as the killer, which it really shouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
Like I'm the killer. You should be running from me, not trying to run at me
Yeah.
with
Yeah,
no
that's
fucking
right.
weapons. This is not Friday the 13th, nor is it last year the Nightmare. If you notice, nobody plays those games. They play this, but you can still bully. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Especially on Friday the 13th, you can bully there also.
Yeah.
And you
Friday the 13th is the worst.
And I think, well, Kate, I know that Kate never did. I think Falcon did, and Nverm0re. This reminds me a lot of old Freddy.
Yep.
I mean, if you want to complain about priority and such, you know, imagine playing old Freddy.
Oh, Freddy was pretty terrible.
Yeah, when the survivors were grouping up on one survivor to heal him and such. They were just doing it in front of Freddy's nose. And Freddy,
Yeah.
You
and Freddy,
do anything.
yeah, and you were literally standing there, watching, as if you're some kind of cook. That's true. And you had to wait like what 7 seconds till the survivors fall asleep.
Yep. That was without any perks or add-ons. 7 seconds. It was
Yeah.
3 seconds. I think 3 or 4 seconds the lowest,
Yeah,
which was trash.
yeah. And then if you're down a survivor and you didn't sleep the other ones, then you still have to wait till the other survivor was asleep till you get slap him and wait so you can pick up one survivor.
Oh, man.
So if you really want to complain, think about how the old Freddy that was annoying.
To summarize, this perk took us all the way back to old Freddy and just feeling really fucking powerless as a killer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, old Freddy was horrible, and he got nerfed within a week after his release. Because survivors were review bombing the chapter about how overpowered Freddy was. And old Freddy wasn't even overpowered. But people are stupid. Okay. Up to the next perk. Hex Crowd Control. A hex that ensures those lesser than you are properly herded. The entity blocks a window for 10 seconds after the survivor performs a rust vault through it. The hex effects persist as long as the related hex totem is standing. You have no control. People like you never did. Ji Woon Hak. So, Falcon, how long does it last as tier 3?
The difference is in the duration, which goes from 10 to 14 seconds.
14?
Yeah,
It's
14.
man, awkward. I was thinking 15 in my head, but then I remember this is behavior and it has to be an even number. So it's probably 10, 12, 14. Which is fucking dumb, but that's what they do.
I would think that was like, I thought it was like 16. Huh. Okay. Learned something new again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay. This perk has potential.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, it's. I know that Nverm0re said that this perk wouldn't be so good because there's like bamboozle, but at the same time it can be because it's the type of hex totem that people wouldn't expect. But it is also the type of hex totem that people would destroy as fast as possible because it's like old ruin. In a way.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't like hexes anyway, but aside from that, it's like okay, so like if you chase someone into fucking basement shack, right? And you have this equipped, they jump through the window and you don't follow them. Like it doesn't really help any. But if you play if you're using bamboozle, they jump through the window, you jump through the window. Now you're in the same room with them.
Yeah.
And if they want to using that shack anyway, because I think there's only like one window most of the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if they can't loop you anymore through that one window, but you're behind them. But if you're using this, you don't necessarily have. You can still follow them, but do you need to? That's more time.
I think this more helpful in those jungle gyms or the monkey cage,
Ah, yeah.
I think it is more that. Even though the shack is also really good, because the shack has like the strongest pallet in the game, and you want to save that up as long as possible. But it has potential because it makes looping less strong. But I also think that depends on the map and on the spawn location of the totem.
And also, if you play Legion, because I can just play Bamboozle because I got the quick vote.
Yeah, Legion is like still hate the fact that Bamboozle doesn't work on dropped pallets.
Yeah, I don't even want to discuss that because that just is dumb.
To be honest, it would have been balanced because it would only be Legion that has it,
Right?
and it would actually change the gameplay up a lot. That you have to think differently when playing against Legion.
That
But-
would have made Legion playable.
Not only playable, but it would have did something with the cookie cutter strategy that the survivors have at the moment. It's just, hey, I'm playing against the Huntress. I'm gonna loop her. I'm playing against the Doctor. I'm gonna loop him. I'm gonna play against Michael. I'm looping him. I'm playing against Legion. I'm just gonna loop him. And
Remember when Legion couldn't open lockers while they were in frenzy?
oh my god, yeah, yeah. And now it's just like you miss a hit with your knife and you get like a headache.
Yeah, it's like like it's good. Like it's so OP if you land this hit. Nothing fucking happens if I land this hit.
I mean, Legion was like the only one that actually worked well with Remember Me. Remember Me was like a really good perk on Legion because
Yeah.
you could farm it up. Remember Me became usable on Legion, and that is rare. There are not many killers where Remember Me works on very well. And then they had to change it because Legion was too strong with Save the Best for Last. He was too strong with Save the Best for Last, and I'm like, then change it that it only works with a normal hit.
Right?
Yeah, make it like that, and keep it that Friendless Demise, Hex Third Seal, Sloppy Boots and such. Keep it that those perks work with the M2 of Legion or Huntress as such. But keep the problematic perks on basic hits, but they didn't do it. I mean, Crowd Control is a really good perk. It has really a lot of potential, but it depends on the map, and it depends on the totem location. That's all I have to say. Do you have anything to say about it, Falcon?
You know, I'm not a big fan of X perks, but anyway, if they just increase a bit the duration, this perk is pretty decent.
Yeah.
Because you can still have a bamboozle, but this perk doesn't require you from vaulting the window, for example.
That's true.
Yeah, so you don't waste time like when you need to use bamboozle.
Yeah. It's
So okay.
yeah, and you can still run Babuso if you want to, just to have that fast vault. I mean, just so that you can be locked up in the same room as the survivor. It's quite like in that one room in the dead dog saloon, where you get this one dead room,
Mm-hmm.
where you have like two breakable walls and only one window. And if you're stuck there as a killer or survivor, you are basically stuck in there because the killer cannot carry you out and such. The killer has to break the wall first, and in the time that has happened, you can escape. That's quite something, you know. And I think only in those areas it would work. Anywhere else it would be difficult, but it could be like it could be the new rune. The survivors will go out of the way to destroy it.
Kate, are you gonna use this with Nurse?
I kind of need to use other perks that would help me out in different ways. Yeah.
To be honest, I'm more curious about how this perk would evolve during the course of the game.
Yeah.
If it will become meta or not. I mean, there are perks in the game that we didn't expect would be coming meta. Also, like we didn't expect Undying. What was the other perk that we didn't expect? I don't remember it anymore. But there was another perk that became meta that we didn't expect would happen. Was completely unexpected. So I'm curious to see how this develops. So let's go to the next perk, which is quite an interesting one. It's called No Way Out.
I like this one.
You're not going to let just anyone into the VIP room. Each time you hook a unique survivor, that means one time each of the survivor in the game. So if there is a Dwight, Claudette, Yui, and a Kate, you have to hook each of them once. Just to let you guys know, a unique survivor, No Way Out, gains a token. When the last generator is repaired, the entity blocks both exit gate switches for 8 seconds, which is 10 seconds, at tier 3, if I'm correct, for each token in your possession. That sound when you bleed, let me hear it again. Ji-Woon Hak. Basically, this is Remember Me and Barbecue and Chili having a chow together, but without the blood points. And Falcon, am I right? Is it 10 seconds?
Yeah. The tier 3 is increased from 8 to 10 seconds.
Sweet!
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
So potentially you can have 40 seconds in which survivors can't open the door.
Yeah. And then you can add like 60 seconds more with Remember Me. That is then you get like 56 seconds. And in the meantime you could have Blood Warden. Basically it allows you to prepare for a late game build.
So, it is good for late game, but overall, I don't think that, like, as far as if your goal is to be optimal and rank up as fast as possible, get as many points as you can per game, not all that great, just because by the time the end of the game comes, you get less points. Like, I would prefer an early game perk, since Ruin was a Hex, and my favorite plague perk that blocked the gens isn't the greatest. Yeah, it's not the greatest thing in the world, but I like to block early gens.
Yeah, maar Corrupt Intervention is now meta, eh?
I love it. But anyway, like, I mean, it's good for late game, but it's like, by the time the late game comes, like, how often is it going to be useful? Like, what if you get gen rush and you don't get any hooks and it's kind of dead? Or if the game is over fast, but you did get some hooks, now you're just like let's say you only get 2 hooks. Now you're just like in a game for an extra 20 seconds for no real reason because
Yep.
they're just gonna
Yeah.
escape anyway.
Yep.
But like if you're build and you're playing towards just making the game long as hell, yeah, this is gonna do it for you.
Yeah. It is. To be honest, it is. I couldn't say this. It is a good perk. That's first of all. But there are a lot of factors in the game also that are stacked up against you also, because you don't know the skill level of the survivors. There are survivors that you never find. Sadly. Does it? And even then, even when it is so far and the survivors discovered, can you find the survivors in time? You know.
Right?
And then the biggest question is the last survivor not Claudette? Yes or no? Yeah. You guys may say, oh, there he comes with the stupid Claudette, but Claudette is top tier in the survivor meta. She's top tier because of all the skins that she got and such. She's top tier, and if she is the last survivor, that changes a lot of the game. Other survivors are easy to find, but if you are talking about Claudette is the one that is the biggest problem in the entire game. And right, Falcon?
Yeah, so true.
I mean, personally, I try to get the Claudettes out of the game as fast as possible. Because they are a hell to find. Especially when they are in the corn or anything that has tall grass. So, those are all factors that you have to go into. I mean, it's a good perk. It rewards you for chasing different survivors. And then if you got Remember Me, it also helps a lot. But here is the thing. Are you able to find them, or are the survivors not lost? Do the survivors have a key, yes or no? And most likely you have to use NOAD to get the most out of it.
But that's the problem, because once we were saying things are put into a game and there's a reason why things are left in the game. Well, if killers use NOED according to the survivors, they're going to bully you and treat you horribly.
Yeah.
Even though it's a viable part of the game.
Yeah, but the thing with NOED is a crutch perk also, because I've seen a lot of killers, especially during the tournament that Bedalert had. You had Oni with NOED and he was face camping. Or Michael with NOED and face camping. And they didn't go after anyone, they were just standing there face camping in the end game. Throughout the entire game, and I was like, why do you got NOED then?
Yeah.
I mean, NOED is there to punish the survivors. But here's the thing, it also makes the killers that use it bad. Because they never learn how to do mind games, they never learn game mechanics. They get rushed, they get outplayed by anyone. And the only thing that they think by themselves for, oh, just wait, I got NOED. And they rely on NOED, and it just takes someone like Falcon to destroy them. To destroy NOED. I think, how many NOEDs did you destroy when we played together, Falcon?
A lot.
Yeah, and what were the killers doing? Camping.
Yeah, face camping with NOED.
Yeah, and we just... And the thing is, if the killer is far away, why should I go close to the killer with that has NOED just to save one shitty survivor? I mean, it is too far away. And I will most likely get down, then it will be a trade. Or it will go from bad to worse. And No Way Out is a bit in the same problem. It rewards you for hooking different survivors, but a lot of killers will most likely face camp, even though they have this perk.
Hmm.
And then they are with no ad, and then the survivors still escape. It is like a lose-lose situation. In this case, but if you are really good, this perk is extremely powerful. It's an extremely good perk. It's just the players that use it is the problem mostly.
Yeah.
Good perk, just the players around it are shit. What do you say,
I
Falcon?
think I could see that. I
Yeah?
think I could see using that as one of my base. It would be that, barbecue and chili, and probably Nurse's Calling.
Yeah. That is like a good option. It has a solid chance to become a really good perk, but the problem is a lot of killers don't want to get to the end game.
Mm.
That's the only issue. Because if you get to the end game, then it is like and it also depends on how. Because because a lot of survivors can fix like a few generators within a minute. In the first few minutes of the game, and that is really that is where this perk gets hurt.
Yeah,
So-
I definitely wouldn't take out anything else and use that instead, because if theoretically, if your perfect game goes for 20 minutes, you want you want either half or like 75% of that to be like early game with the more gens on the map not done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if it's 20 minutes and they do 4 to 5 gens in the first 5 to 10 minutes, you're just wasting your own time because the game is over. You're not really getting that many points at that point.
Yeah, it has to do with the early game.
Yeah, you get more points to rank up the longer you keep gens from being done.
Yeah, it goes like this. This perk needs the early game the most. If you can get like 2 survivors before a generator is popped, 2 different survivors, then this perk will pay off in the late run if they fix it. That is, if you aren't steamrolling, that is. But at that point, it can go either way. It has too many variables, but it is a good perk. I keep saying it. It is a good perk at the moment, but there are too many variables. Survivor skill, map, the killer that you're playing. It all adds up. But how the perk is, he's good. It's good. It's a good perk. And I think Falcon agree with me on that one. Map, survivor skill level, the killer that you're playing. That all depends on how well this perk will perform.
Yeah, I agree with you, and yeah, I also suggest No Way Out for high mobility killers.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I just wanted to add one last point, which
Yeah.
which is important in my opinion. This perk only works when the last generator is repaired, so it doesn't activate when you close the hatch.
Yeah. Same as
So-
Rancor.
So yeah, so watch out for this.
Yeah. So if you close the hatch yourself, this perk won't activate.
Yeah. Otherwise, it would be overpowered, I think.
Same as Rancor.
Yeah. So just remember this limitation.
Yeah. So we all agree that this perk is good
Yeah.
Yeah.
to a
this-
certain extent. This perk is good. Do you agree, Nverm0re?
Yeah, if you like playing the end game, yes. Otherwise, no.
Yeah. So before we go further to the gameplay and perk build part of the video, I have a surprise for you guys. I got a surprise for all three of you guys, and I want to know if you guys are ready for it. This is a bonus review of one perk. Are you guys ready for it? Are you ready for it, Nverm0re? Are you ready for it, Falcon?
Yeah.
Okay. The last perk that we are going to review, but also came out with this chapter. And I think you guys will love it. And that is the perk called Decisive Strike.
Yay!
So what do we think about this perk?
I'm happy it got bopped.
And you, Nverm0re?
So they made the game playable again.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair.
What do you have to say, Falcon?
Just one thing.
Yeah?
Yeah, when I saw the change to this perk, I immediately thought about the crab dance. You know?
Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna read it for all of you guys so that we know what it does. Anyway, here's the voice. Decisive Strike. Stab at your aggressor in attempt to escape. After being unhooked or unhooking yourself, Decisive Strike will activate for 60 seconds, that's 1 minute. While active, complete the skill check when grabbed by the killer to escape, stunning them for 5 seconds. And if you are in a pre-made group, that's like 15 seconds. 15 seconds. Multiply it by 3, by the amount of survivors that are alive. Succeeding or failing the skill check disables Decisive Strike. You become the obsession after stunning the killer. While active, the following interactions deactivate Decisive Strike. Repairing a generator. Healing yourself or others. Cleansing a totem. Sabotaging a hook. Unhooking others. Increase your chance to be the obsession. The killer can only be obsessed with one survivor at a time. How do we like this new Decisive Strike?
I like it.
I like
Like,
it too.
isn't this what it was supposed to do when they changed it last time?
No, they never did that. This was suggested by the player base community.
Yeah, this is fine.
Yeah. Because I see it like this, and maybe you guys don't agree with me. Maybe you do. But I will say it just means that one survivor less is working on the generator.
Yep. It penalizes them for going to do stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
It just means that there are like 3 survivors working on the generator. And you are forced to choose with, are you going to save your Decisive Strike or not? Because as soon as you try to save someone, the killer just has to wait till you unhook someone and you get downed. You lose your Decisive Strike. Or another survivor has to heal you to get so that you don't lose Decisive Strike. So that means that there are like 2 survivors working on the generator. So basically it is a slowdown perk in a way. Because either 1 survivor or 2 survivors are not working on the generator, maybe 3. And it's fine, but because by the time that you go down again, the Decisive Strike is not active anymore. It's a fair. It's now a lot more fair. Of course, you don't know who has the Decisive Strike. That is still the only issue. But if you don't see someone working on a generator or something, then you know, okay, he doesn't have he has Decisive Strike.
This will punish survivors that play to this perk if you play optimally, because you're not going to chase the person that just got unhooked anyway.
Yep.
So they either have to just do nothing for a whole minute or waste their decisive strike.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm assuming that when they say deactivate, that means that it's gone forever.
Um, I want only to add a point. Okay, I agree with you about the fact that this new change will will slow down the game because your priority as a survivor when you are unhooked is to get healed. That is your priority.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this will stop all those survivors that okay, I was unhooked. Now I have 1 minute invincibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go immediately to rush a generator.
Yep.
Yeah, that such a play style we will be gone.
Yeah. For the better.
Yeah, yeah, and also now, to be honest, the perk is also more balanced because, okay, you as a survivor, you want protection against tunneling. Okay, we give you protection, but you can't make progress anymore in
Yeah.
the game. Yeah,
Yeah. Because it now it is balanced because the it still protects the other survivors, even though there is only one Decisive Strike in the game. The killer will think that everyone has it. Still. So it is still protecting everyone, but it is now more balanced.
yeah.
Yeah.
And now, when you play killer, if you see one survivor which is making progress in the game, you
Yeah.
you will be able to punish them.
Yeah.
Finally,
Yeah.
I must say finally.
It is a protective perk, you know, anti-tunneling, but at the same time it is also a slowdown perk. So it is basically, yeah, it's a lot more fair. Yeah, there are still survivors that can abuse it by getting unhooked and then pretending that they get the Decisive Strike by going into the locker. Okay, but that's a mind game. That is okay. Because if I see that same survivor working on a generator later, I will be like, oh, he doesn't have Decisive Strike. So the next time I can just do it. Basically, now it is a one-time mind trick. There will of course be someone that has that perk, but you now have to pay more attention to how they play. That is all. Anyway, I'm happy that they finally, after 4 years,
Yes.
nerfed this perk in a way that it feels more balanced. I bet Almo is angry about it, that he's saying, yeah, but according to the statistics, the Decisive Strike was overperforming and such. Almo, go eat a dick. That's all I'm gonna say. Dit is okay. Dit is well deserved. Dit had to be coming. So, now that we have done this, everyone happy with the Decisive Strike?
Yeah.
Very much improved.
Yeah, I'm also happy, and now I can't wait for the nerf of another perk.
Yeah.
Object of obsession.
Yeah. So anyway guys, this was the perk discussion and review of the video. The next time we are going with the perk builds and gameplay review of the killer and Mori. So I hope that you guys will tune in to that. So see you all later.